Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Crystal, and in this video I'm joining another collaboration. This one is hosted by Sabrina over at Sab's Rehabs, and this challenge is all about the new Netflix series Wednesday. I personally have not watched the series. I did check out the trailer and all of that, so I could just kind of get an idea of what I wanted to do on my piece. So this is the little guy I'm going to be working on. It's got these weird heart cutouts, which I guess was really popular in like the 80s country themed homes. So I have a creative way I'm going to cover those. Hopefully this turns out as good as I hope it is going to. I guess, I don't know. We'll see what happens, right? All right, well, I am going to go ahead and prep this all, and I'm not even going to show you all that. I'm not going to do it on camera. I'll do it off camera just so I don't have to bore you. So I will be back when I get ready to start painting. I have a few different paints here that I'm going to mix together to get like a gray color. I'm just going to do random amounts of each till I get a color that I like. I have so much paint right now. I made a promise to myself I wouldn't buy any more paint until I use up some of this. As you can see, this is almost gone. Okay, let's see what kind of gray I can make. Okay, so I am going to make my own homemade salt wash, and I'm going to use some Himalayan pink sea salt. And I got this at Ross. It was only $3.99. Normally I buy the grinders, but this is pretty coarse. And yeah, I'm gonna try it, see if it works. Okay, I'm just gonna pour a little bit in there, like so. This is it. You're gonna wanna use a brush that you don't care about, like a chip brush, because it's probably going to ruin it. I'm just going to tap it on wherever. Okay, so I'm going to use these random bowls as templates to make circles because I am making a, what is that called? Thing you throw darts at. What the heck is that called? It'll come to me. Oh, shoot. Maybe it won't. Anyways, I'm making the thing that you throw the darts at or arrows at. Target. Making a target. So I am going to use the bowls as my template so I can get perfect circles. Trace them out with my pencil. All right, last one. I taped everything off with some blue painter's tape, and then I just went in with the appropriate colors and painted my target. At this point, I thought my gray was a little bit too light. So I did go in with a black paint wash that I made using some water and just some black acrylic craft paint. and I watered down my paint and made it super runny, and I just did my black wash to darken my gray a little bit, and then it also helped accentuate the raised areas that I created with the salt wash. So basically, I just brushed on my watered down paint mixture and then wiped everything back with an old sock. I did go in and kind of dab a little bit here and a little bit there just to kind of create some highlights and some lowlights. On the very top, I only went around the edges to kind of create like a vignette effect, as I was going to be doing a stencil in the middle, and I wanted to leave that the original gray color. Next is where I'm going to cover up those heart cutouts, and I'm going to show you guys how I did that now. So there's all these silhouettes of these ravens, and I think ravens are prominent and shown a lot on the series. So I am going to attempt to freehand one of these images on some black felt and use them on the sides and to cover the heart cutouts. There's one. I use these white gel pens so that I could see where I need to cut out. Use my fabric scissors to cut this out. Let's see if this is gonna work. Here's my first attempt. It's just slightly too small to cover the holes, but I'm going to use this as a template to make my next one a tad bit bigger. Using my hot glue gun, I added my felt ravens over top of the heart cutouts, and I also just kind of placed them randomly all over the little table to create, I think it's called a murder of ravens, or like a flock of ravens, a murder of ravens. Or maybe it's crows that are called a murder. I don't know. You tell me. Does anybody know? All right, so for my next step, I made a stencil. I did this all by hand. I don't have one of those Cricut machine things that cuts it all for you. So what I usually do is, and I promise you, I went and I did the whole screen record thing and I tried to figure out how to do that, but I am just not very smart when it comes to the computers, and I cannot figure out how to do this. So one of these days, I promise you, I will show you guys how I go on and I save my file and everything like that. So basically, I found my image, Nevermore, and that's what the academy is called that Wednesday Addams goes to. And then I print it out on blockposter.com. I then take a pencil and I just kind of rub the back, the paper where the letters are. You don't need to do the whole entire paper, just do where the letters are. And this time I used a paper bag. I like to use poster board, but it can be really hard on the hands to try and cut everything out. So I am just going to use a brown paper bag this time. It's not as stiff or sturdy as poster board, but it does have pros and cons. It is so much easier to cut. You do need to iron out any wrinkles that might possibly be in your paper bag. And then just lay your paper down onto the paper bag and then trace out all your letters. And then your letters will transfer onto your paper bag. I then use an X-Acto blade and I cut out all my letters on the paper bag. And make sure if you have like, like in your E's or in your O's, make sure you leave like a little bridge so that way when you do cut around that, it's still there and it's left there. So when you do tap out your stencil, you don't have an E with just like a big empty hole. Hopefully that makes sense and you understand it and I explained it okay. I will show you here in a second where I screwed up and I made that same mistake. But I just used some tape and I fixed it. All right, I got my stencil on here. I have it taped so it's secure. I'm going to take some of my black. And I'm just using a sponge. And I'm going to take a little bit of blue too, just so I don't know, I don't have so much. That blue down there is like really just bright and I just want to bring it to some other area. Just tap lightly. I did end up adding an arrow to my target because my kids walked in and said, "What is that, Mom? Is that a CD?" I'm like, "Oh, no, it's not." So I decided to add a little arrow that was stuck in the target and I just used some tape to make a straight line and some mixed up brown paint. But other than that, that's pretty much it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. And I want to say thank you so much to Sabrina over at Sab's Rehabs for hosting this challenge. It was a lot of fun. Let's have a look at the before picture really quick before we look at the after. Thanks again, everybody. Make sure you check out the playlist. I will link that below as well as Sab's channel. And I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.